The second video we will be covering topics like verbs, all type of verbs, present, past, future, finite, non-finite. Then we have participles, gerunds, and infinitives, and active and passive voice, direct and indirect. Okay. So up till now we have seen the basic grammar. Now we go to the main part, that is the verbs. Okay. So in verbs we have two sections, that is the finite and the non-finite verbs. The verb is limited by the person of the subject. A verb that is limited by the person and the number of subject is called a finite verb in relation to, that is limited by the person and the number of the subject. Means they go, she goes, you go, it goes. Okay. He goes to school to study. So he goes. Noun, that is person, and plural, that is numbers. They go. He goes. A verb not limited by a person and number is called a non-finite verb. Non-finite verbs do not have any tense forms. Now, in the non-finite, we have three categories. First is the infinitive, second is the participle, and third is the gerund. What do we mean by infinitives? It is TO2 has to be added to the verb. To steal, to write, to forget. Okay, that is in the present tense. Then in the perfect infinitives, to have stolen, to have forgotten, to have written. Participles, as we know, what are participles? The ing form of the verb that acts partly as a verb and partly as an adjective. So that will become our participle. Stealing, forgetting, writing. And gerund, what is a gerund? Ing form of the verb that acts partly as a verb and partly as a noun. A word which is like a verb but performs the work of an adjective is called a participle. The broken window had to be replaced. Which window? Broken. Okay. So here it performs the work of an adjective. Broken window. Right? The injured man was taken to the hospital. Which man? Injured man. Adjective. Okay. A word which is like a verb but performs the work of a noun is called a gerund. Okay. So a word which is like a verb but performs the work of a noun is called a gerund. A gerund is a verbal noun. Let us see some examples. Many people were attracted by his loud crying. Next, she prefers typing to writing with hand. Next, we had difficulty in finding a parking slot. So parking slot is a noun. So before that we have placed the verb. So it becomes a gerund. ING. Next, I do not mind sharing my room with her. My room is a noun. Sharing, verb, ing. Hmm? The child was scared but by the barking of a dog. The dog is a noun. Barking, ing. Barking is placed before the noun, the dog. Climbing a steep mountain can be an exciting experience. A steep mountain. Noun, ing. Climbing is placed before a steep mountain. So it becomes a verbal noun. That is why it is called a gerund. Okay. Now we come to active and passive voice. As we all know, the number of different verbs. Simple present tense, I am, you are, first person. He, she, it, second person. They are, third person. I have, you have, they have. He eats, she eats, it eats. Okay. I eat mangoes. He eats mangoes. This is the simple present tense. Okay. Now, present continuous tense. That will be is, am, are plus verb ing. For example, it is raining now. These days, I am revising my courses. We are playing a friendly match next week. The home team dash well in the match. Bracket verb is given play. So now we have to set it accordingly. So what answer it will be turned into? The home team is playing well in the match. Who dash in my bed? Bracket verb is given lie. We change it into who is lying in my bed. What dash these days? In the bracket, the verb is given you write. So we will write it as what are you writing these days? Second is past. What is the main verb of past? Had. I had, you had, he, she, it had, they had. Okay. We stayed at Mumbai for 2 weeks. Stayed, ed, direct past. He ate dinner at his office. Ate. They drove their car very fast. Drove. Now past continuous. What will be the main verb? Was, were plus verb plus ing. I was playing cricket. They were playing on the ground. So simple past and past continuous are used together to denote an action that took place in the past while another action was in progress. Example, simple past or past continuous. Example, when Seema was running, she fell down and hurt her leg. Was running and fell down. While he was watering the plants, it began to rain. While he was watering. the plants, it began to rain. Past continuous. Now, present perfect tense. This tense is used to express an action that has been completed recently. He has just left. We have just received the information. This tense expresses an action which has completed in the past, but whose effect can be felt at the time of speaking. I have taken my breakfast. I have already taken my breakfast, and that I'm talking about it right now. I have seen this movie, so I need not see it again. Simple past and past perfect tense. I wondered who had taken my dictionary. I am sure I had closed the window before. I went to bed. She had hoped that her friend would help her. Simple past, as we know, ed words, and past perfect, had taken, had closed, had hoped. Okay. Now we come to the next point, that is future tense. Future time can be expressed using the following forms, as we all know, will and shall. Next Wednesday will be a holiday. I will be 20 next week. The principal will not accept this proposal. So will and shall. Future continuous, will be, shall be plus ing with the verb form. I will be waiting for you. Will be waiting. Wait plus ing. I am sure she will be eagerly looking forward to your visit. Will be eagerly looking forward. She will be packing the luggage when I reach home. Will be packing. Will be plus verb, pack, ing. So it will be future continuous. Now future perfect, what will be the main form of the verb? Will have, shall have, plus past participle form of the verb. Example, I will have finished the painting by 8 p.m. They will have declared the results by next month. Now we go to the different topic, that is active and passive voice. When the subject of a verb also performs the action named in the verb is said to be in the active voice. Don't go to the intricacies of the definitions. We all know what is an active voice and what is a passive voice. For example, Sudha respects the teacher. This is a active sentence. Now this we will be changing into passive. But first let me read out to you what is a passive voice. When the subject of a verb receives the action named in the verb is said to be in a passive voice. So the example, active example, that we will change into passive. How will it be? Sudha respects the teacher. The teacher is respected by Sudha. Okay. By changing sentence from active to passive voice, we have to be careful about the use of the personal pronouns. I need some help. Some help is needed by me. The doer of the action in the passive voice will go last. Okay. I need some help, active sentence. Some help is needed by me. That will be passive. Annu informed her. So now this her will be changed into the passive voice by she was informed by Annu. The doer of the action will be last in the passive. Compulsory by has to come. Your uncle teaches English. We are taught English by your uncle. Did you receive my letter in time? Question mark. This we will have to change into passive in the question form only. Was my letter received by you in time? Did you receive my letter in time? Was my letter received by you in time? Who organized the function? By whom was the function organized? By whom was the function organized? Simple future. I shall post these letters tomorrow. We turn into passive. These letters will be posted tomorrow. I shall post these letters tomorrow. These letters will be posted tomorrow. When will they vacate the house? When will the house be vacated by him? When will they vacate the house? So how it will be turned in the passive form? When will the house be vacated by them? Another example of future continuous. They will have counted the votes before night. This is an active sentence. We have to change this into passive. The votes will have been counted. The votes will have been counted before night. Will they have selected the cricket team by next week? So how it will be in passive? Will the cricket team have been selected by next week? Will have been selected. Okay. We see some few examples by using commands. Open the door. This is an active sentence. You make this into passive. Let the door be opened. Or the door should be opened. Sell this bicycle off. This is an active sentence. We make it into passive by let this bicycle be sold off. Let this bicycle be sold off. This bicycle should be sold off. Now, certain things you have to be careful when you make sentences from direct into indirect speech. If the reporting verb is in the present tense or in the future tense, the tense of the reported speech remains unchanged. Anshu says Paul is going to England. Anshu says that Paul is going to England. So in the present tense and in the future tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech will remain unchanged. Again, Anshu says Paul is going to England. Anshu says that Paul is going to England. The speech will remain the same. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, the tense of the reported speech are changed into the corresponding past tense. That is, in few instances, words have to be changed, but in few examples, the words will remain as they are. I am, are, was, were, all will be changed into had been. Has and have will change into had. Had been will not change. It will remain had been only. Okay. Do will change into did. Did will change into had done. Shall and will change into would. May and can will change into might and could. Words like would, should, might, could, ought to, used to will not change. Again, words like could, should, might, would, ought to, used to do not change. He said, Uma wants to become rich by winning a lottery. He said that Uma wants to become rich by winning a lottery. Here, the speech describes a state of affair which still exists when the speech is reported. So the tense remains unchanged as it is. Only you have to add the word that. He said, Uma wants to become rich by winning a lottery. Now the answer will be, he said that Uma wants to become rich by winning a lottery. It will remain the same. She said, Ritu does not get along well with her friend. She said that everything will remain the same. She said that Ritu does not get along with her friend. She said when Anu was living in Bombay, she often saw Ram. She said that everything will remain the same. She said that when Anu was living in Bombay, she often saw Ram. Here it is mentioning the time clause. So its tense remain unchanged. Okay. Time clause as in when Anu was living in Bombay. It tells us when Anu was living in Bombay, she often saw Ram. Into reported speech, she said that everything will remain the same. When Anu was in Bombay, she often saw Ram. Rules for the change of pronouns and possessive adjectives. Pronouns and possessive adjectives of the first person are changed according to the subject of the reporting verb. I said, I want to consult my parents. I said that I wanted to consult my parents. You said, I want to consult my parents. You said that you wanted to consult your parents. This is the example of second person, you. Okay. So with you, what will come? Your. Again, I'm reading out. You said, I want to consult my parents. You said that you wanted to consult your parents. Okay. She said, I want you to consult my parents. Now, this is the third person. So, what will you change into? She said that she wanted to consult her parents. Third person she, so her parents. Okay. She said, I want to consult my parents. Third person she. Okay. So in the answer, what we will write? She said that she wanted to consult her parents. Now, pronouns and possessive adjectives of the second person are changed according to the object of the reporting speech, reporting verb. Ashok said to me, your parents are waiting for you. So, Ashok told me that my parents, your parents means my parents. Barabar? So, Ashok is telling to me, Ashok is telling to me, your parents are waiting for you. So, what we will write in the reported form of a speech? Ashok told me that my parents were waiting for me. Okay. Ashok said to you, your parents are waiting for you. Ashok told you that your parents were waiting for you. In the second person, it will remain the same. Now, next. Ashok said to him. Him etle third person. Ashok said to him, your parents are waiting for you. Ashok told him that. Him etle third person, his. Okay. Ashok told him that his parents were waiting for him. Right? Pronoun and possessive adjectives of the third person remains unchanged. I said to you. I said to you, he should be trusted. I told you that he should be trusted. We are talking about the third person, not you, not first person, you second person. We are talking about the third person. So I said to you, he should be trusted. I told you that he should be trusted. It will remain the same. You said Sandeep should not have neglected his studies. You said that Sandeep should not have neglected his studies. It will remain the same. Now the expression that has to be changed from direct to indirect speech, you all know this. This will change into that. These will change into those. Your will change into there. Now will change into then. Now, then. Ago, before. Ago, before. Today, that day. Yesterday, the day before, or the previous day. These direct speeches will change into indirect speech when you will turn into reported speech. Okay. From active to passive, when you will change, these words will be changed accordingly. This, that, these, those, here, there, now, then, ago, before, today, that day, yesterday, the day before, and the previous day, tomorrow, the next day, athwa to the following day, next week, next year, the next week, the following year, the following week, the following month. He said, I shall discuss this matter next week. So now next week, what word we have to supplement and change into? He said that he should discuss that matter. This will change into that. So he said that he would discuss that matter the following week. She said, we shifted to this house 2 weeks ago. She said that they had shifted to that house 2 weeks before. Okay.